Take a stroll through the heart of this city that we know so well. Charities and shops with stories to tell. Community connections, that's the way. We light up local every day. From the fun to the heart to the city's soul. It's Marlboro pride, let's roll. WMCT, it's where we'll be. Marlboro pride on your TV.
Hi, Marlboro. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Community Connections. I'm your host, Ryan Malyar, and it is a frigid Friday out there. We're all bundled up, but we've got the heat pumping in the studio, so if anything, you might see me start to sweat because we're under the bright studio lights in here. Although they're LED, so they're energy efficient. They don't put off the heat of those halogen bulbs. What am I talking about? I don't even know. No, I really wanted to thank you for tuning into our Community Connections program. You know, it's a season of giving. Christmas is right around the corner, and it has been a great opportunity for us to share our connections and our love of local nonprofit groups here in Marlboro and in all of the surrounding communities, including Hudson. You know, these nonprofits, they do so much to serve the community, and sometimes they fly under the radar. If you don't need a particular service, then you might not know that it even exists. And today's group is one that we've been so thrilled to collaborate with at WMCT-TV. I am talking about none other than Thrive, Support, and Advocacy. We have Sean Rose here, who is the president and CEO. Sean, I'm so glad you're here. I love your organization, and it's just a thrill to have you sitting across from me.
No, thank you for having me. This is, you all are so great to the organization, and it's so nice to be with you here in this holiday season, talking about everything that Thrive has to offer.
Yeah, so Thrive is based here in Marlboro, at least it was when it was founded in 1973. It was under a different name. We don't want to talk about that terrible name, but well, give me the whole story in a nutshell.
Sure.
What is Thrive and how did it all begin and get to where it is now?
Yeah, so in 1973, there were a handful of families here in Marlboro who said that they weren't going to send their children to the state hospital, that they were going to live in Marlboro, they're going to recreate in Marlboro, and that was going to be that. They developed a small organization called Greater Marlboro Programs Incorporated.
That's a mouthful.
Yes, GMPI. And they started initially with, social recreation and Special Olympics. And then as the group started to age, they needed in-home services. And then it was like, right, well, GMPI can support that. Then they started aging a little more. And then they were like, oh, you know what? They need housing. And then it was like, oh, well, GMPI can be supportive to that. And so over the years, it's evolved to become a continuum of care. Our main headquarters is still in Marlboro on 65 Boston Post Road. We've evolved and grew into the Worcester County area, main office over there on 100 Grove Street. And so we're doing incredible work between Middlesex West and Worcester County. And we serve, at this point, about 1,200 individuals a year through a variety of programming.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to even scratch the surface here, but let's start with some of the bigger programs that you offer, that you serve, how you serve this community.
Yeah, we have 3 group homes here in Marlboro. 4.
4 group homes.
4 group homes, 3 of which are one of the biggest group homes in all of Massachusetts.
How many residents are we talking
12
about?
residents.
That's huge.
Yeah, so we have 12 and 12, and then we have a smaller one, a 5-bed home as well. So we have 41 individuals residing here in Marlboro. We have a home in Shrewsbury, we have a home in Worcester, and so we've expanded quite a bit in the last 5 or 6 years. But so that's probably our 24/7 operated homes. Referrals come through the Department of Developmental Services. We have in-home services, adult respite, adult companion, between Worcester County and Middlesex West. And so adult respite is a family just needs a little bit of a break. We go in there and we go into the homes and we spend time with the participants. Adult companion is a little bit more of a mentorship program. We have day programs in Marlboro and Worcester, community-based day services where these young folks are learning a vocation as part of their daily routine in addition to wellness and taking care of themselves. And then we have a expansive social and rec program. Between Marlborough and Worcester, we identified that nearly 70% of the people we serve suffer from some elements of food insecurity. So a few years back, we developed Flourish at Thrive Food Pantry. It's one of the only disability-friendly food pantries in all of Massachusetts, gluten-free, dye-free, allergen-free.
Oh, wow. You never think about the specifics
Of course.
of diet in different populations. And I guess these allergens can affect different people in different
Absolutely.
ways.
So it's not common that you can go into a food pantry and get an allergen-free, a dye-free, a gluten-free item. It's just
Oh,
not
wow.
something that is in bulk or something that people are consistently donating. And so it's a fantastic food pantry. This past Thanksgiving, we served about 750 individual people with the support of sponsors, our board, of course, and our board chair, Steve Wall, but Bud's Goods and Provisions in Worcester did all of the fixings and the bags for everyone. St. Gobain delivered us 70 or so turkeys. I mean, it was an incredible endeavor, and one that we do every year. And
Wait, was this, so these were meals that were prepared and then delivered to families and to group homes?
so
700, you said?
we've had 700 individuals. So you
Oh, my
imagine each
goodness.
family gets a
Yeah.
turkey and all the fixings, your
Wow.
mashed potatoes, your cranberry sauce, or whatever, like all in one. And
Yeah.
so, some bigger families get more. And so we track how many number of individuals are in the family, not individual bags that are
Right,
going out. Hence the 750 number.
That's still huge.
Huge amount, yeah.
And was that all out of the food pantry? That was
All out of the
organized
food
all
pantry.
out of your food pantry?
All out of our food pantry. And the best part of this is our participants in our community-based day services program, particularly in Worcester, are the ones who go and pick up the turkeys, get them into the freezers, put all the boxes and things away, get everything really organized, get all the different cranberry sauce and whatever all together and organized. And so they're literally working the food pantry as part of their daily tasks.
It must be amazing to see the sense of ownership and pride that they take in that role. Can you explain or share any stories about the transformational effects that your programs have given to any individuals? You don't have to name any specific names, but
Yeah, I think that we have, just so I can, share globally more about our approach. I think, a lot of us nonprofits are, always looking for donations. We're always looking for volunteers. We're always looking for help. We're always, in some cases it feels as if, and I know that it's probably us internally thinking this more so that we're always asking for a handout. And so we decided many years ago when I first started at Thrive that we were going to be in the spirit of altruism as well. And we as an organization are going to give back, whether it's our participants in our group homes or our participants in our CBDS programs, to the community in the same way that the community gives to us. So for example, this is a very recent example because this literally happened yesterday. So I'm on a board of an organization in Worcester called Planting the Seed Foundation. Every year, the Planting the Seed Foundation does this annual toy drive. And we are given anywhere between 10 and 15,000 individual toys to give out to the community in Worcester. And so wraparound coordinators will come in and they'll say, oh, I have a list, and people can submit a list. And then today I just left, we're all shopping all these lists and getting them out. The Worcester Police Department goes and delivers them to the schools and the shelters and the group homes. And this past week, the members of our community-based day services program in Worcester went around to local businesses and picked up the boxes of the donations for all of these people who are going to be served today and over the course of this weekend. So they literally got in a van, they got their little list of all the different locations that they needed to go to, and picked up hundreds and hundreds of toys to be able to support this endeavor through this foundation.
I think maybe that's why I connect with your organization and with so many of the other nonprofits that we have here, is the fact that you require support to operate, but that spirit of also wanting to give something back. That's the whole point of this show here. And that's what gives us so much joy here. Is like, I feel good about my job every day because I've reached and been able to support another nonprofit like yours, or to tell a local story, or to give some light to something that might have been missed. And that gives me such joy. And I can just tell every time I meet you and see you, the joy that radiates from you and from your staff as well. And it requires a really a really special individual to work with such special populations. Any shout outs you want to give to your amazing teams of group home coordinators and caregivers that you have?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important to note that despite Thrive's growth over the last 5 years, we doubled in size and more than doubled in size, that we kept the same administrative team. We did not add to it. The idea is that we wanted to keep our administrative team small and strong, and we all wear numerous hats. And so, for example, as a CEO, I'm marketing and fundraising and operations and community connections, and the list goes on. And Chief Operating Officer Stacey Flourish, she just got onto the Advisory Commission for Disabilities in Worcester this past week, and she does a ton. And then our Nancy Bishop, our Director of Residential Services, and all of our nurses and everyone. It's just a tremendous, tremendous group of people. And I couldn't be more thrilled to have, Thrive's evolved in this past 5 or 6 years, and we've grown. And there's been, anytime you grow, there's, bumps in the road, but we can only have grown and have had more of an impact on the communities that we serve when people are going above and beyond and doing yeoman's work in their own jobs. If we were having to put out fires and deal with things like ongoing, it doesn't afford you ability to do more. And so I can't thank this group enough for all that they are doing and have done for us to be able to have a bigger impact on the communities that we serve.
Let's talk about your holiday party. You just had, what was it, last week? You had a special...
Last night.
Last night?
Yes.
Why
yes.
wasn't I invited?
I don't know. When I was coming in here, I was like, oh, why didn't we ask Ryan to come through?
I didn't get the invite.
Yes. No, we won't
Next
make that.
year.
We won't make that mistake again.
Okay, I want to be invited to all the parties.
You're in.
Because I'll bring the camera, I'll bring the crew. Well, not the whole crew all the time, but I love to be there. I'm an archivist. I like being behind the camera. It's also my crutch to introduce myself to people. Hey, can I get a photo of you? And that's sort of my way into communication.
Sure.
But I would have loved to be there. Tell me about it. Where was it? Who showed up? You had some special accolades you gave out.
Oh, we did, yeah. So it was at Cyprian Keys. Cyprian Keys we use a lot because it's the central location between Marlboro and Worcester. It's like equal distance, and so families and caregivers from both counties can come in and we converge on each other. We had 150 people there between our residents, our in-home services, our social and recreation group, our self-advocates group, and then a lot of families, caregivers. And it was just, the dance floor was, you would have loved it. You would have been right in the middle of it. The dance floor was,
Make me so jealous.
was rocking. Yeah, I mean, it was rocking.
You had a DJ?
We had a live band.
Live band?
The Revitalists. Do you know them?
No.
Yeah, so they play a lot of bluesy, old school kind of music and Christmas songs and Beatles and Elvis.
Fun.
And they're a terrific band. They've been with us for the last couple of years.
See, now my staff is jealous because we're probably gonna go and get a pizza. And this sounds, Mike's laughing in there. So it's Carrot. Sorry, guys. Oh, no, we'll get Mexican again. We love Lalo's. Maybe Lalo's this year. Okay, back to this.
We want a band.
You want a band? Okay,
I can help with that. I can help.
Okay, Sean will hook us up with the band. But yeah, so and you also gave out some special accolades that
We
night.
did, yes. So every year for the past few years, we've honored someone in December who has been wonderful to the organization or supported the organization in varying ways with our Standing Ovation Award. And this year we honored Senator Robin Kennedy and Mayor Christian DeMays for their incredible work that they do for not just our organization, but for vulnerable populations overall. And then the imprint that they both have, of course, Robin here in the Commonwealth, but Mayor DeMays here in the city of Marlboro. The mayor and our self-advocates group went to meet with him at City Hall a few months ago, and I think he thought that it was going to be a casual tour, show around City Hall a little bit, and they just peppered him with some really difficult questions about what was going on in Marlboro and in the country overall. And he laughs about that was one of the tougher interviews or group meetings that he's had in a while.
So these were folks from one of your group homes?
Yeah, so we have a self-advocates group comprised of people throughout the organization, led by George Kent, our training director, and they meet monthly to talk about how we as an organization can improve. And so they'll give us suggestions. So we'll ask them, what do you think about staff retention, or what do you think that we could do better or different, or areas where we need to improve? And then
But talking with the mayor, they're thinking about advocacy on like a
Yes.
much larger level
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Incredible.
Asking him about funding and budgeting and a whole bunch of things. And it was really funny because when I catch up with the mayor fairly often, I'm very fond of him, and he was like, "Man, they really had me over a barrel. They were asking some difficult questions."
Well, we know Representative Danielle Gregoire watches this program as well, so maybe heads up. Danielle, they're heading your way too.
Oh, they will, yes.
Yeah.
And I know Danielle as well, and she's fabulous. And
Yeah,
I would
she is.
love for them to be connecting with her at some point too.
I know she'd love that
Yeah,
also.
for sure.
Yeah. We're going to take a really quick pause,
Sure.
but when we come back, we're going to talk about one of my favorite events that WMCT-TV has been really just so, I don't know, privileged. It's just been an honor for us to go to the Thrive annual Prom for all ages, and we've got some great video clips that we're going to show you when we come back from these messages from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere.
It's shout-out time. WMCT-TV would like to thank our sponsors for supporting community media here in Marlborough, Massachusetts. Drumet Hair Salon and Day Spa, offering services including extensions and keratin smoothing, coloring and blonding, precision cutting, and more. Drumet Hair Salon and Day Spa is located at 31 Spring Hill Ave in Marlborough, Massachusetts. The Coffee Loft. Coffee and community is their motto, as they serve up lattes, cold brew, tea, sandwiches, and pastries too. The Coffee Loft is open 7 days a week at 406 Lincoln Street, here in Marlborough. The Vin Bin, bringing you the best in wine, cheese, brew, and gourmet sandwiches for 20 years and counting. The Vin Bin is located at 91 Main Street in Marlborough. Author and illustrator Mark Martirosian, host of TV's Drawing with Mark on WMCT-TV. Mark is offering free downloadable activity pages for kids of all ages. Email pennyarcadecreative@gmail.com for more information. Leah Owen, marketing and business consultant. Leah's team members and partners share her belief that great organizations, from businesses to nonprofits and more, deserve to be seen, heard, and celebrated. From social media strategy to community events, this boutique marketing agency helps local brands and organizations grow with purpose and personality.
Thanks for sticking around and joining me here on Community Connections, right out of WMCT TV studios on 91 Main Street. I'm so delighted to be returning here with Sean Rose from Thrive Support and Advocacy. Now, before we went to break, I just wanted to talk a little bit about this event. And you might think I'm just saying that it's one of my favorite events, but it genuinely is. And I'm talking about the Thrive Prom for all ages, which happens at Polar Park in Worcester. And for the past few years, you invited us to cover this prom, and you can tell people what it is in a moment.
Yes.
But you invited us to cover it, and I said, we can do more than just cover it. We want to be a part of it. Mm-hmm. And as this prom happens, there's a red carpet, balloon arches, and people are receiving beautiful corsages and boutonnieres. And I said, what can we do as a TV studio to amp this up? Yeah. I said, let's do some red carpet coverage. And when people ask me, what do you love about your job? This is the first thing that comes out of my mouth. Every year, having the opportunity to do this prom is my favorite thing. It's one of my favorite parts of the year. Tell me about this prom, how it all got started, and what it means to your community.
Sure. So hot off the presses, the prom will be May 14th this year.
Mark your calendars.
Yes, and we cannot wait for you and your team to come again. And you all offer something that we can't. The opportunity to be interviewed on TV and feel special and connected, and you all at this point know a number of the participants.
Oh, they
And
come
so-
up, oh, not you again.
Yeah.
Or I recognize, I
Yeah.
recognize, I wish I knew all their names.
Yes.
But just seeing these faces year after year, it's incredible. And it's like, you see someone once a year, but we have a connection with them.
Yes.
And it's so special to me. There's this one group of guys. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
do,
There's
yes.
a big guy and then a baldish guy.
Yes.
They're like the funniest duo ever. They crack me up. Yeah, it's a blast. It's a blast. So yeah, tell me more about the prom.
Sure. So for those who, you obviously know the story, but years ago, Thrive used to have a road race, the Forest Road Race, and it was here in Marlboro. And then when COVID hit, the race ended up being retired, but it was a real opportunity for Thrive from a fundraising standpoint. It was like an anchor yearly fundraiser that occurred. And when the race got retired, we're sitting around thinking about, wow, like, what are we going to do now? And we started thinking about, we want to do a fundraiser that our participants, our residents can take part in and successfully take part in. And so you throw out your golf tournaments and things like that. And someone said, well, let's think of it from the lens of a rite of passage. What is a rite of passage that you or I may have that this community may have not had the greatest experiences in? And then our board chair at the time, Bob Colley, said, prom. And I was like, prom? He was like, think about it.
Light bulb moment.
Yeah, he was like, think about it. He was like, some of our individuals may have never been to a prom, or if they went to the prom, they may have not had the greatest experience, may have felt left out, maybe not had transportation, maybe couldn't afford to go for whatever reason. And then we just took it from there and reached out to Dr. Charles Steinberg at Pula Park and saw what he had available, and started with the red carpet and the balloons and the generosity of the many, many sponsors over the year to make it happen. And we're just getting better and better every year. We got the bigger and better balloons, we have caricatures, we have bubble machines, and we have
Photo booths
and the dance floor is crazy, and the food is amazing. And it's a one night that every single one of our participants look forward to every single year. And the day that the next day after the prom starts the clock again for their excitement. And when you think about this community, having something to look forward to, socializing, memories, tradition, it really resonates with them, and it keeps them going, frankly, and it motivates them, and it's energizing. And you say it's one of your favorite things.
Oh,
it's
it is.
literally one of the best things that we do, to have 200 individuals from Middlesex West and Worcester County walking down a red carpet as if they are celebrities in Hollywood, enjoying the night of their lives.
Yeah. So you said that this was replacing a fundraiser of a road race, and this is a very big event that requires a lot just to make it happen. Does it also have a fundraising aspect to it as well?
Absolutely. So the sponsors, it's like a double win for somebody who sponsors it, because you're not only sponsoring the prom and this wonderful night, but the remainder and the excess of your sponsorship goes into social and recreation activities and special events over the course of the summer.
I got
And
you.
so it's like a double whammy, if you will. And so people really, really love to sponsor or donate to it, because they know they can see in real time, where their money is going.
Absolutely. There's some really other fantastic things. I've got a list a mile long because you're doing so much, but there's some really special things that we wanted to hit on. And you're starting a new micro business. Tell me about this.
Yeah, the Metro West Foundation, Health Foundation, has supported us in creating a micro business with our participants in our community-based day services programs called Bosco's Bites. So the background around the name is Bosco was a therapy dog of our board member of ours, former board chair, who used to come to all of our residences and come into our day programs and some of our social and recreation events. And our community loved Bosco.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Bosco passed, and we asked all of our participants to vote on what they wanted for a name for our new micro business of creating dog treats. And overwhelmingly, Bosco's Bites came to the top of the list. And so it's a micro business where we got, like I said, we got some grant funding for, and they're right now in this moment, they're experimenting with different recipes, sweet potato, and a whole bunch of different grains to get the right magic for the dog treats that we want. And so it started a month ago, and we're in the next step phase of, in the next couple of weeks, will be any one of our staff who have dogs. We're going to give them the dog treats to try out, to taste test it.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that you all will have some support of us on that. We would love to do a commercial or something really fun.
Oh, we could do an infomercial.
Yes.
We'll give it the full QVC Home Shopping Network treatment.
Yes.
You know, that's my dream.
Yes?
That's my other dream.
Okay.
I watch a lot of QVC. I watch too much. And it's like the only sort of live improv you can watch on TV. And it's actually very funny, but not intentionally. But beyond the point of my QVC habit, I would love to help
we'll have
you
so
do
much
a
fun with
little
that.
infomercial for
Yes.
this. That would be a blast.
And then after that, we have the access to the Worcester Food Hub. So when we get to a point where we can get things down internally enough, we can start making them in mass quantities. And so that's why it starts off as a very small, like simple plan of recipes, and then baking them in our programs and doing it that way, and then it kind of ramps itself up as we get going.
Well, as a business, a food business, even though it's not human consumption, there must be a lot of rules and regulations and certifications and for the recipes and the cleanliness of everything. It's a lot to undertake, right?
It is, and we have a wonderful staff of ours in our family support center, Patrick Reardon, who's heading this up, and he's had a lot of background in food service and industry and creating these type of micro businesses in the past, and he is doing a fabulous job. And it's so funny, I come into the kitchen, I think a couple weeks ago, and they were, baking the dog treats, and Patrick was putting them in the oven, and there were a couple of dog treats that weren't perfect, in terms of it's like a bone, and it was like a little bit messed up, and he's like, I just want to be clear that one wasn't mine. Because he's so proud of it, and his quality control is like, no, we're baking that, but that's not going to be going into the batch, and so it's just they all take so much pride in it, and they're so excited about this process, and the goal really is to be able to create actual employment for them and to pay them for the work that they're doing, an hourly rate, just like anybody would working in the food industry. And so I think it's a very creative and interesting endeavor. And originally, we were like, we're thinking small, and now people are like, if we can get this thing off the ground, it could be huge. And again,
you're like one step at a time.
Yes. But the first step is, like getting all the recipes down and getting our systems down and getting creative with it. But we already have the logo ready to launch and ready to go. And it's just really another internal exciting things that is dreamed up by our team that is just going to go a long way.
Well, there's another thing that excites me too, and that's a new greenhouse.
Yes.
What?
Yes. So
where
the Gene?
How?
It's a Gene Preston grant that we got. It's and to build a greenhouse, and the hope was that our individuals and participants in our day programs, even our residents, would grow healthy vegetables in the greenhouse. So the greenhouse is located in Marlboro, and the goal it just finished completion after a very long time with a lot of challenges, but it's up, it's ready to go. And the next step is, in the next couple months, we'll start filling it up, and we're getting heat in there right now, which is like the final stage, and start filling it up and growing healthy vegetables that, of course, will go into our residential homes, but in addition to that, go into our food pantry as well.
Wow.
And that'll be manned by our participants and our residents, so it's a true farm-to-table endeavor.
Yeah. There's so many things happening, and I'm just trying to think of ways that that I can get involved, or that someone watching can get involved. So like if we talk about the food pantry specifically, you must be seeking donations all the time. I know many food pantries are really running at a bit of a deficit right now with the scare of potentially losing SNAP benefits and a million other things. But regardless of that, how can people make donations to the food pantry? Do you have specific lists that they need, or?
I would just, our website is fantastic, and we just actually did a complete overhaul of it, and so it's even better than it was before. And I know that people complimented us on it before, but there were some things about it that bugged me a little.
Sure, sure.
And so now it's in a place where I'm very happy with it. And icanthrive.org, you go on there and you can reach out to us, 508-485-4227, 508-485-4227.
It's on the screen.
And you can reach out to anyone, and whether you need support from us, you have questions, you want to donate, you want to volunteer. We have our social and recreation newsletter that will be coming out in a couple of weeks for the next quarter, January, February, and March, with an amazing array of offerings.
And when do prom tickets go on sale? Because those go like hotcakes.
I'm sure that list is already completed or has been.
Yeah.
We're looking at another 150 or so folks coming again this year.
Wow.
And again, I am so honored to have folks like you and sponsors and getting our name out there and expressing the need, but more importantly, expressing how we can help others as well. If there's any employer out there, for example, who needs help with, sorting, light cleaning, housekeeping, shredding, or anything that they feel our community could be helpful to them, we're open to that as well. You need a pickup, you need a drop off, you need anything, we're available and kind of ready to go. But again, there's the generosity of United Way, St. Gobain, Phoenix Communications, residents of Marlboro, residents of Worcester. It has just been incredible in terms of allowing us to push on some of our creative things that are outside of the norm and the tradition of nonprofits like us. And so it's been a wonderful ride, but again, we couldn't do that. It takes a village, of course.
I feel like we met each other just when this sort of uptick and new era was happening. It sort of felt like a new era for us here at the studio and with Thrive and with a lot of nonprofits too. I just get this buzz in the air that we're entering this time, this revolution of growth and heart and support from the community. Any special messages for people, especially around the Christmas holiday and the season of giving, on how they can really get involved, and whether as a volunteer or if they know someone that might really benefit from your programs?
Yes, a big part of what we do is service navigation. And so if you are caring for someone who is disabled intellectually, developmentally, autism, any brain injury, and you're feeling like you're hitting a roadblock, or you can't figure out a resource, it's our job to unlock that for you. So please call us, connect with us, email us. We're more than happy to support you in and around that. If you're a business that wants to volunteer, Main Street Bank does so much for our organization, has for the last 25 or so years. They'll come in, they just donated, asked us for lists of certain individuals to be able to make sure that they had presents during the holiday season. And we gave them a list of like 25 people, and they will hit every single item on that list for us. If you're a business who wants to come in and volunteer as like a group, we can do those things. If you're someone who wants to volunteer and come bowl with us and hang out with us and come to our dances and just have a good experience, they're more than welcome to do that. And of course, if you want to donate, we will not turn you away. It's just an exciting time for Thrive, and we're charged with the mission of supporting as many people as we can and having as big an impact as we can. So being here with you and getting the name out and getting the word out will only enhance our support of people in the community.
It's a serious mission that affects people's lives, but you approach it with so much joy and heart that it sometimes becomes easy for me to forget about how difficult these situations can be and how difficult these lives can be and what a positive impact Thrive is making. Thank you so much, Sean.
Thank you so much for having me. I really, really appreciate it. And I look forward to us partnering on some of these creative ideas that we have
I've
in
got
the
some other
pipeline.
ideas too. Once we go off air here, I've got another idea.
Terrific.
Thanks. But that brings us to the end of another episode of Community Connections here on WMCT-TV. If you are a local nonprofit or you know of one here in Marlboro that would love to be featured on this show, let me know. Come on in on a weekday afternoon at 1 o'clock. Use your lunch hour and have a little conversation with me. I'd love to find out what you're doing in the community. I'm Ryan Malyar, and I'll see you next week.